Hi and welcome to Kat's Krafty Corner. I'm your host, Kathy from La Crosse Public Library, and today I have a very fun project for us to do. We are going to be doing iris folding. Here is my example of the project we will be working on. What is iris folding? I am going to read the definition. It is a paper craft technique that involves folding strips of colored paper in such a way to form a design. The center of the design forms an iris, a shape reminiscent of the iris diaphragm of a camera lens. So let's get started. All right, we're going to have to gather some supplies. The first thing that you're going to need is an iris folding pattern. This is the one that I am using. It's a heart iris folding pattern off the Craft with Sarah website. I will have the link below in the video. I would recommend using her website because she has a collection of beginner to some advanced iris folding patterns. You'll need to do a quick registration with a name and an email address. However, you can find other iris folding patterns available on the internet by doing a quick search or through Pinterest. As you can see on our pattern, we have a larger heart and we have a smaller heart. I am going to be working with a smaller heart because it's going to fit more on our standard card sizes that Americans use in their crafting. You're also going to need one self-healing mat to protect your work surface. You're going to need one X-Acto knife. You'll need a pencil, a pair of scissors, removable tape, masking tape. Then you're going to need some paper that is very lightweight. I have mine already cut into strips, 1-inch strips, but this paper is actually origami paper. Here are the colors that I chose in the selection. You can use newspaper, you can use magazine print, and actually magazines ads really do some unique things with the patterns. Other way you can use it is finding ribbon. Ribbon will also be a nice thing to work with. You just don't want bulk of heavy cardstock in your folding pattern at the moment. You're going to need one mat that is, the width is 5 1/4 and the height is 4 inches. You're going to need a card base that is, the length is 11 inches and the height is 4 inches, 4 1/4 inches. You're going to fold at 5 1/2. And another thing that will come in handy is a paper cutter. So we're going to begin with using our pattern, and we are going to be cutting out our bottom part right here. Just need to grab my self-healing mat. This is where the self-healing mat comes into play. We're going to protect my work surface. I'm going to grab my X-Acto knife and I'm going to start here in a spot, turn it a little bit, and I am going to start cutting into here. Into here, we just go along the path of the long solid line, and we just take it nice and slow. We don't want to go too fast, and we just drag our knife along. I'm going to pop this up for a minute and see, yep, it's starting to come out. And we just continue along the line here. So you can see how I'm going to do this part. So we're going to just continue for a few seconds. And is it coming? Yep, it's coming out very nicely. Turn this a little bit more. And I'm just going to do a couple more little, let's get to around that corner. That's where it's nice and difficult. Don't want to move too fast. Got a little tear right there, but it shouldn't bother what I'm doing. So it continue going around the outline of the heart. Your pattern eventually, when you get it cut out, is going to look like this. I have one already cut out for us. You're going to want to keep that insert because we're going to need that eventually to help with our pattern and placing our folds in it. So I'm going to place this off to the side. I have my pattern right here. I am going to grab my mat and I'm going to place it underneath. Try to get it central. And then I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to trace the heart onto my mat. Just very lightly. Some of it's not going to look perfect. So we keep on doing that. And let me get this one aside. Holding it down. And I can remove this sheet, just putting it off to the side. This I need to cut out. And when I cut this out, I don't have to be as particular as I was when I was cutting out the heart with the paper folding instructions. So I'm going to just go in here in the middle and just start cutting away. Unless you want this heart that you have drawn, you then will need to use your X-Acto knife and do the exact same thing that we just recently done. So I'm just cutting along the outline. And we're going to get it just like this. And it's going to take me a few minutes. Try to get the shape as best as you can. And we are just going to go around the curve there and down to the center point and up, curve again, and around one more time. All right, we're going to have our mat now. And so I'm going to just put that off to the side for the moment. I'm going to toss this away, move this off to the side, move my self-healing mat off to the side. We need to cut our paper strips. If you haven't done that already, you're going to want to cut them into 1-inch strips. So easy enough to do. I already have mine pre-cut because I didn't think you really want to see me cut paper, but I'll do a quick little one right here just to show you. So my 1-inch mark, I'm going to use the one over on this side. Just put this down and cut. With origami paper in this size, it's 6 by 6. So I should get 6 strips out of this purple, dark purple. So you continue cutting your strips out. I don't know how many you'll need. It varies from pattern to pattern and how you're going to do your pattern. So then I'm going to grab my inside pattern and I'm going to place a piece of little removable tape here. I am going to grab my mat that I cut out and I'm going to see, oops, I see a little pencil here. I'm going to just erase that. If you see any pencil marks, you can erase them along the way. And I am going to flip this around. I'm going to decide which side I like best, the front or the back. I'm going to use and flip the back, and I'm going to place my pattern, my heart, over the other heart, just like that. And I'm going to grab some removable tape because I want to place this mat and make sure it doesn't move on me while I'm working. So we're going to start with number 1 and we're going to go numerical. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. And how I'm going to do this is that I have decided that I am going to do the light purple on this side. I am going to do the dark purple on this side. And then as we get into this main square right in here, I'm going to do that with ivory paper. So I'm going to try to get, actually I'm going to try to get this a little bit better so you can see it there. I'm going to have to remove this. And I'm going to stick this sheet underneath and stick it in like that. So I take my light paper, I fold it in half just like this. and I have a seam here. The seam is where we want it with the number 1 right here. So I'm going to need to cut it about right here. It's going to go over the edge a little bit, but that's okay at this moment because we're going to be trimming all that up in the later part of the video. Once we're done here, I take my masking tape. I have the seam up to the number 1. I'm going to apply it to this side. I don't want it over onto my edge here. If it does, it's okay, we can cut. However, I don't want it to get into this open area over here because you're going to eventually see it when you turn your picture around and use it. So number 2 is on this side, so I need to fold this over. And I kind of measure it out. And I just cut, it's just eyeballing it and cutting. And then I grab my tape and I am going to place some tape over there. And then we grab our light one. Again, the seam is against the line, so I'm going to cut right here and place it. And so we're building. It's not going to look pretty on this side. I am going to warn you, it's not. And you can always put tape over the other one. That's all right. So number 4. And we just continue in numerical order until we decide. I get down to where it's number 21, and then that's when I'm going to start switching colors. So I still have a little more here. I'm going to do just a couple more to show you, and then I have one that's partially done. I'm going to switch that one to that one. We'll just do number 6. That one just fits right there, so perfect. So I'm going to just move that there. All right, so as you can see, I would continue going down the line to number 7, to number 8, and everything else. So I'm going to just remove this one, and I'm going to grab the one that I currently have all finished, basically. So here's the one that I've been working on. As you can see, and I'm just going to sit this right there. So it's being built up. It is an ugly looking thing. I've done paper off to the dark on the one side to my right, and I've done the light side on my left, and then I started with using the ivory in the middle. So I need to quickly finish this up because I'm going to show you what it looks like. 25, so I'm going to just cut right here. Too big a piece of tape. These ones I'm not measuring as well just because there it gets smaller and smaller and we don't need a big piece. Again, you're still putting the folded edge seam to the line. And probably right there. Now, when we hit number 33, you do not want to use a folded piece right there. You're going to probably want to use an open one. Some people like to use a contrasting pattern or design for this just because it highlights the iris in the iris folding. Some people like to have it monochromatic, and I'm just going to continue using the ivory, or maybe I'm thinking now as I'm talking to you guys, I might actually use the dark purple, I think is what I'm going to do. So continue. And see, if you could tell, I'm not sure how well you can see this on here, but if I was using cardstock, this would be so bulky, so heavy to lay onto my cardstock. So I am just going to grab that. I'm going to grab my paper right there. And I'm going to put a piece of tape here. Right there, and I need one on the other side. All right. So I'm going to slowly remove my removable tape off of here. This is the back. Remember, it does not look pretty. It is actually really ugly. I'm going to have to trim right here, and I'm going to have to do a little trimming right there. You got a little extra tape here. However, here's what the final product looks like. I think that is pretty cool right now. So I'm going to quickly take my scissors, and I am going to trim off those little spots. See how easy you can clean up too? I mean, yes, it looks like this takes forever, but it's really cool and amazing. And the recipient of your card is going to just love it. So I'm going to grab my card base and I'm going to flip it over because I want it open up on this side. I'm going to lay it down here, and this is what it's going to look like. And let me grab some glue, and we're going to hopefully glue this in place. You can use double-sided tape for it too. Just add a bunch of glue. You're going to probably want to add a little more than you normally do, just so that, because it is a little bulkier, so that it holds down well. And I just put it right there. Now I'm thinking maybe stamping a little hello right there. And now wouldn't this be something nice to send out to someone out there that you're just thinking of them? You wanted to send them a little love to them. So this is our iris folding project that we did today. I'm very happy with how it looks. I hope you enjoy looking at yours and you worked it well. So we will see you again at Kat's Krafty Korner very soon.